Good morning, magical creatures. Welcome back to the forest. Now, I never know what it is that I'm going to talk about when I go on these little walks in the woods. So it's a mystery and a surprise to me as well as it is to you. I always write the titles of the videos after, so we'll see what comes through. What am I feeling called to chat about today? Or how are you feeling is the question. How is your energy field? I feel like for some of you, you're excited about something. For others of you, you're feeling nervous or even confused about something. I really want to try to start channeling. Now, we're channeling all the time, right? We as human creatures on this beautiful physical earth dimension plane, we're channeling all the time because we're basically like little Sims, right? We're avatars being controlled by some sort of higher force that we can't even barely comprehend, and yet we can feel and know is there, you know, weaving through us. We feel it in our passions. We feel it when we're in love. There's this other thing that craves to move through us. And it's not just our biology saying, oh, I want this person or I want this thing. That's not just our biology. Sometimes we feel drawn to certain people, certain things, and we have no idea why. We have no logical understanding of why we're drawn to these things. You know, you might meet someone and think like, oh my goodness, I might have like had some sort of like past incarnation with them or future incarnation, because time is non-existent really. Everything's happening in this moment, in this particular moment, this present existence, right here, right now, this incredible moment. There's literally no other time except right now when you're watching this moment, if anyone is actually watching it. You and me in this beautiful space and time. And I just want you to know that in this sacred space, I am sending you so much love and so much healing to your being in all the timelines and beyond, because we're all one. That's the thing that all of these spiritual beings always are telling us, that we're all one. And we're like, well, no, we're in separate bodies. We have different ideologies, different perspectives on everything. But that's just your personality matrix. That's just your car that you're driving around in, right? Sometimes it's interesting to see the human form as like a car or something. It starts to allow us to separate ourselves from it and not getting lost inside of it, thinking like that you're your name, that you're your job, that you're everything that's ever happened to you. You can actually rewrite your past so that you can craft your future. And so many people nowadays are thinking like, how can you rewrite your past? Well, you literally have infinite timelines of your existence. Think of the universe. It's absolutely infinite. Why would you not exist across all possible dimensions of reality in a myriad of forms, right? So you can access any particular timeline. If you can think it and dream it and imagine it, it exists. It exists, and therefore you have the ability to tap into it. The universe wouldn't offer you that imagination. It wouldn't offer you a glimpse into that other world if you weren't able to connect with it, to shift to it, to become it, because you are it. That's the beauty of it. Oh my goodness. See, just being in this forest alone proves that it's possible, because there was a time when I was wandering through here with the real estate agents and the people who owned this land, and I thought to myself, like, if I could only live here, if I could only live here with this beautiful lake and these rolling hills, like, I would give anything. I would give anything. And there was no way we would be able to afford it. And then magically it all aligned just by being content where I was. You know, I wanted this place, I yearned for it, but at the same time, I felt content where I was, right? And that's how you shift. You have to feel content. Think of the reality as a sort of template, almost that you need to stamp it. And the stamp doesn't come down until you've approved it. You're like, this is good. This is a good reality. I like this. In that moment, you have the agency to be able to say, okay, yes to this. Now what's next? You're open, you're receptive. When you're in a state of resistance to like, no, I don't like this reality, the universe will keep putting that reality in until you give it the go-ahead. It's like trying to get a paper marked or something, right? The teacher might go back and forth with you and give your paper back to you until it's good to go. I guess it's more like an editor for a book or something. But exactly, like, it won't move through the system until it's good to go. Think about all these people who want to manifest things. They're like, I've been thinking about it, I've been focusing on it. Whoa. I just heard a bird. Yeah, like, you've been thinking about it, you've been focusing your energy on it, and you're wondering why it still hasn't come, and that's because you're holding on to it. Like, think of it like an email. Like, if you hold on to an email, how are you going to expect that you're going to get a response if you haven't sent the email yet, right? You have to let it go. You have to release the expectation, release the potential of what it might be. Oh my goodness, look, the sun's rising. It's so beautiful. There we go. What a gorgeous fall day. And the leaves are almost all gone. But that's okay. Soon this will be covered in white, and I'll take you on a winter wonderland journey. I wanted to film more outside during this time, but things have been so crazy, as I've said in my other video. Things have just been wild, and I haven't had the time. But I really am taking every moment I can to just connect with whoever is watching, because I feel like called to it. I feel like something is saying, like, you need to film it. It doesn't matter what it is, like, you just need to do it. And that's how I feel about when I'm trying to write something. I have this motto, it doesn't matter what you write, but that you write. And that's my motto. Every morning I wake up and it's like, it doesn't matter what it is, just do it. And it really helps to take off the pressure, right? Because you're like, okay, it doesn't matter. As long as I create this beautiful habit and express and, you know, share my thoughts with either my future self or other people. I love this particular tree. It's like a hybrid between a conifer and a deciduous, because yes, it has needles, but it sheds them in the winter time. So it's all naked during the winter, and then it grows back in the summer. So it's a really, really beautiful tree. It's called a tamarack. It turns actually like a deep, like, crimson, sort of, in the winter. All right. Finally made it to the lake, and I'm just going to enjoy the last warm day. I keep saying that, and maybe that's global warming, and it just keeps being beautiful weather, but I don't know. Don't want to obstruct the view with all the human stuff, but I am a human, and I do love to swim, so here's the dog. And the dog. Yeah, this is the private lake. I mean, it's not like private. I mean, there is crown land. So, and this land was once, well, it's the unceded territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people. And every day I think to myself, like, what would they have experienced here? What would it have been like? And I'm just trying to learn from all the different plants and all the different animals here. You know, the beavers, the ravens, the turtles, everything in this beautiful space. And every tree has something to tell us. Every element of nature has something to share with us. Even the way the wind moves across the water, there's something to be gained from it. There's something to be learned from this beautiful space. And so I just want to take a moment for all those wise beings who were here to share their wisdom with us. We are so, so grateful, so eternally grateful. And I am so grateful to get to connect with this land. And I'm hoping one day to be able to share it with other people, because more and more of us, not just the indigenous people, but humans in general, we're being taken from our home. We're being taken from the natural world, and we're being confined to boxes and cardboard and just something that's artificial feeling. And though everything on this planet is natural, everything is an expression of Mother Earth, it does feel fake. It does feel like it lacks life essence. But part of me feels like every artificial thing is, was natural at one point, and artificial is just a perspective that we have. And maybe by having a perspective that deems something as negative, or, oh, look at bird. Where's the bird? I don't know. I don't know if I captured the bird on screen. That was beautiful. Yeah, we all have perspectives, and that's just it. You know, life is inherently meaningless until we as humans, as consciousness, bring meaning to it. So we can choose to be, you know, angry and frustrated at how things are working with regards to, you know, the consumption of our earth, the destruction of our earth, or we can see it as a form of creation in a way. It just appears like it's destructive because it's our habitat, it's what we're used to. But as Gaia consciousness, as this being that encompasses this earth shell, like think of earth as like this rock, right? And Gaia consciousness as this life force that's come to this particular seed and grown herself, grown all of us, grown everything that's here. And that includes smartphones and Wi-Fi and everything like that, that we, as like a lot of us spiritual beings, are afraid of. But it's all part of the expansion of Gaia's consciousness, us connecting and communing with one another so that she can, I say she, it, whatever, can expand itself into the far reaches of the universe, right? Think of Earth. It was a rock once, but it was seeded with life from some other place. This is a potential for something to expand its life-giving essence. And when you think about it, humans are just a hand of Gaia. We are just but a thread weaving itself through whatever this expanded tapestry is going to be. We like to see humans as like, oh, we're the creators, we're the ones that are in charge, but like, no, it's really Mother Earth. All these plants, think of like corn or wheat. They're basically the most abundant thing on the planet, aside from maybe ants and whatnot, or bacteria even. We'll go down to the levels, but corn and wheat, think of how vastly important it is just for our existence alone. When we go to other planets, potentially, what are we going to be bringing with us? We're going to be bringing sustenance. We're going to be bringing water, oxygen, and that water and oxygen is for the corn and the wheat to survive. So in essence, it's the natural world that is, you know, in a way manipulating us to spread itself. And I think for a lot of us, we're starting to realize like, oh, I don't want to have children necessarily. This is a scary world that we're entering into. And it's partly Gaia's consciousness saying, you know what, we have enough people right now. We have enough to get to where I want to be as a being, to expand myself into the universe. And we're realizing we don't need as many human beings to do that. In fact, we might not even send human beings necessarily out into the galaxy. We might send like artificial intelligence or, you know, robots to go out into the universe, but we would maybe put our consciousness inside of them and therefore, you know, spread out that way. And that might be what's happening to humans. You know, our human consciousness is actually from somewhere else entering into the human life form so that we can occupy the space and time on planet Earth, right? Because certain beings, they might have like a higher consciousness, but they wouldn't be able to necessarily enter into this low vibrational frequency, especially like what I mean is their forms, which we might not be able to perceive in this reality, wouldn't be able to exist in this particular physical dimension, whereas their consciousness might. That's the cool thing about humans, is that we have this ability to feel a spectrum, like expand a spectrum of consciousness through within us. We can go from these low vibrations, density and pain and aggression and anger and jealousy to these feelings of love and bliss and acceptance and joy. And it's just beautiful to get to experience that on this particular earth plane. And I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just blabbing to whoever is there, but I just feel connected to this space and time, and I just feel blessed in this present moment, because that's just it. Why would you choose to feel negative or sad? See? Someone's feeling happy too. You never come to say hi. I guess you can feel the vibes. But that's just it. Like, you have this moment in time. It's a gift. It's precious. It's a present. And you don't know how many more of these present moments you have, right? You could die in a week or a day or years. You just don't know when it can happen. And I've lost people who have passed before their time, you know, like they were young and they had years ahead of them, but you know, it was, their story was meant to end and maybe inspire other people to fulfill their life paths. So the gift is now. It's so hard to get out of those thought patterns that are like, oh, I don't have enough, or oh, this person said this to me, or oh, like life just getting you down. But if you can release the past and everything that's happened to you, and for some of us, we've gone through a lot of shit. Like, we have gone through years of abuse, years of trauma, and for you to be able to separate yourself and say, okay, that's a story that happened to a version of me, potentially, then you can shift and say, okay, that was just a version, that was just a particular perspective that experienced that. But it's for your highest good now. Like, when you read a book, you often take vast amounts of wisdom and experience, and you get to adventure through the characters. So you could see your past as almost like a story, right? As an experience that you got to share with whoever was there at the time. You can even see your antagonists as, you know, as your abusers, as actually helpful in a way, because they've shaped you into someone who can actually appreciate their present surroundings. So I often like to see it like that people who have hurt me the most are sometimes the most invaluable teachers. And when you can see it like that and see it as a gift rather than something to be angry over, then it really allows you to move into a space of love and abundance. And I've said abundance comes in many ways, and it does. Like I've said, like, sure, I might not have a lot of financial abundance right now, but I have this earthly abundance and love and beauty and connection, and that's just as important sometimes as the financial stuff. Obviously, you know, you need to be able to eat and you have to have a place to sleep. Those are obviously vital. But we shouldn't forget how important it is to wake up and see a sunrise, or feel the cold wind on your face, or the hot heat of the sun, or just the love of an animal companion, or a human companion for that matter. There's just so much to be grateful for. And you don't need to be in this constant state of anger. Those thought forms that are in your mind right now are trying to communicate something to you. And by blocking them out with drugs and alcohol, it's only going to prolong that experience for you. You can, and I know this from years and years of substance abuse, I know this to be true. But at the same time, sometimes it takes years. And I'm not saying it can happen for everyone in a heartbeat. For some people, yes, they can shift. They know how to be able to shift their perspective because they can play pretend. They have that childlike ability to shift and be like, one thing, we're doing this, and then we're going to shift and we're going to do another thing, and back and forth. They can do that. They can move through energy that quickly. But some people have a harder time finding the frequency that they want to shift to. Some people don't even know what reality that they want to exist in, you know? And that's hard too. Like, we think, sorry, the sun is beautiful, but yeah, we think that we know what reality we want to experience. Like, I was thinking, like, oh, I really want to write my book. I really want to have a YouTube channel. And I've started like 4 YouTube channels, and I just can't stick with one of them because that's not who I am. I can't just focus on one thing for an extended period of time and forego other impulses that I have. And a lot of us are like that. And I don't want to like say ADHD or autism, you know, we all have different experiences, flavors, so to speak. And each one comes with its benefits and its it's tricky energy, but I don't even know what I was saying. Yeah, it's hard for me to focus on one thing as a Renaissance soul, and I'm sure a lot of you are Renaissance souls too. But yeah, it's really hard to stay focused. Like, I started this sailing channel where I was adventuring, and then I was like, wait, no, I really want to make music. Like, that's what I need to do. So I started this music channel. And then I really felt like, no, I love reading tarot. Like, I'm good at it. I've done it for a long time. I should start a channel doing that. And I can, pump out the readings pretty quickly. And maybe that way I can get people to come to my Etsy shop. And I had all these like ideas, and I just couldn't stick with it. Not only because I have no space, literally no space. Again, that's a limiting belief system, and I'm working on that. But I just feel confined, not only in my mind, but in what I'm capable of. And here we are working through my belief systems that I never stick with anything, that I'm incapable of focus and actually succeeding at anything. So here is my 4th YouTube channel, and will I forget about it? Will I let it go? I don't know. What is it about? I really don't know. It's just about me blabbing to the camera and expressing my truth of what I feel in the moment to share. So I hope that some of what I have expressed is valuable to someone in some way. And if it is, you can give me a thumbs up. You can subscribe if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. If your friends don't want to dance, then they ain't no friend. Anyway, yeah, you can share it if you want to, but don't feel like you have to. And if you have any ideas of anything you'd like me to share, I've had quite the colorful life experience, though I may just seem like a plain blonde white lady. That's just the color of my car. I actually have a lot of different lives within here. Yeah, quick little background on the whole blonde hair thing. My grandpa is Estonian, and he was in Estonia during the Second World War, and the Russians came over and conquered a lot of the land of Estonia. And so my grandpa actually had to escape on a sailboat, in the middle of the night to go to Sweden to be able to escape from the Russian attack. So the land that, was home is no longer our home anymore. And we were forced to come to Canada, this beautiful place. And, we're living on land that was taken from other people, maybe 100 years ago. And it's just crazy. That's how life is. Land is taken from people, and it's given to other people, and it's taken and it's given. And that's just how it's been for so long. And I just think that we need to be able to, as a human species, come together and realize, we're not separate. We're all one who just want to connect with these beautiful spaces and learn from those who have come before us, who have wisdom to impart. And yeah, I grew up here, and so this is my home, and I just want to be able to learn from it and connect with it. And I would love to connect with Algonquin elders or Anishinaabe elders who have wisdom to impart to me. I would love to connect with them. I actually grew up on Ojibwe Reserve when I was a child, and so I actually got to connect with a lot of the elders there, and that was really beautiful, learning from them and connecting with the colors of their paintings and the beautiful artwork and just everything that these souls have gone through. It's just incredible to see what people are able to overcome and the beauty that they're able to create despite the pain that they've gone through. So I'm giving my love to so many people who have lost so much. Whoever you are, I'm sending my love. And I hope that one day you can find joy and happiness in the present moment. Despite everything and all the chaos that's going on in this world, I believe that you can shift and find your freedom. You just have to know what it is that you want to experience in this life. And if you don't know, then know what it is that you want to feel and start embodying that. Start filling it into you, in your being, and you will create that. The universe has no ability to not give to you what it is that you emanate and express. And yeah, So sending you love, whoever you are, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!